David Price, wake up. I have seen that city eat its own. I lived through and worked in Boston when the chicken and beer gang got eaten, chewed up, and spit out. And it is happening again. David Price, if you're fighting the current in Boston within a year and 2 months of pitching or signing that giant deal up there, it's already over. It's already over. You don't come back from it. David Price was not wired to go to Boston. And I'll tell you, there's been a couple of guys that did this very same thing. They took the money, they went to Boston and figured, well, here's where the biggest money is. Here's where I can get rich. I'm sure it'll be fine. And then it wasn't. Carl Crawford, same exact thing. John Lackey, same exact thing. Josh Beckett, by the end, same exact thing. Which is bizarre because the freaking Red Sox have won 3 World Series titles since 2004. You can only imagine the negativity, the cynicism of the fans before 04. I mean, the guys of the 70s, guys like Jim Rice that actively battled with the media and the fans because they weren't winning and they wouldn't win. Even worse. But so many guys think that they can just take the biggest contract, the biggest money, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And it's not. It's not always fine. I've talked about the dynamic in Boston before, and I think it's unique in terms of this country. Boston is an intense place to live and work. It's just intense. Everything's intense. Now, you might think New York is intense, and New York is fast, and New York can be intense, but here's the difference. In New York, you are ultimately split. There's Giants and Jets fans. There's Mets and Yankees fans. There's Knicks and Nets fans. You can live in this borough or that borough. You can live in New Jersey. You can live on Long Island. There is ultimately too much of everything for it to ever be too intense. In Boston, one team, one sport, in every sport, and so everybody's all in. And it's not a megatropolis. It's not you can see the skyline for hours and days. It's not this massive entity. It feels oftentimes like a small town where everybody knows one another. And so it is just intense. Boston, to me, when I was living there, felt like a fist the entire time. Now, that's amazing if things are going well. It's amazing if they like you. There's no feeling like it. I mean, if you're popular and you're successful, if you're doing well and people like you, my goodness, you could imagine. But it goes the other way, man. And it has gone the other way on David Price. And guys think that you can just take the money and go up there and be fine. Adrian Gonzalez, this happened to. All those guys got run out of town. Bobby Valentine, same thing. You go there, you take the money, you think it's going to be great. And then within a couple of months, you realize if you're not pulling your weight, they are crushing you. And it is antagonistic. It is combative. It is aggressive. And at times it feels insane. It feels insane that sports could mean that much. I will tell you, if David Price had a $217 million contract from the Padres, his life, and he delivered the same exact results, his life is 180 degrees different. It's not the money so much as it is the intensity. And then the money adds to that intensity. He's got to go. They've got to trade him. They've got to get rid of him. They've got to try to figure out some way. I think it's a 7-year, $217 million. This is year 2 of 7 years for David Price. And he's threatening to fight media before his day to pitch. A Wednesday, he's throwing stuff in the clubhouse, threatening people to fight him. The next day, he's going out there getting rocked. He's got 5 years on this contract after this one in Boston. It's over. I've seen it. Carl Crawford, by year 2, it was over. Adrian Gonzalez, by year 2, it was over. Bobby Valentine, by month 2, it was over. Josh Beckett had won a World Series for him in 07. A couple of years later, the guy is pounding light beer, eating fried chicken, greasy fingers before starts, and the moment he goes out to play golf when he's supposed to have a strained lat, the entire city is on fire. Ran him out of town. The guy was a World Series hero for him. Seen it before, man. David Price, it's over. Sorry, you're gone.
I'm out. Bye.
It's over.